everyone again. This is Rudy Davis. This is my second video. I'll talk a little bit today about the bailout. I'm going to set my egg timer to let me know when 10 minutes is up. So I'd like to talk about the bailout, fiat money system, Federal Reserve, socialism versus capitalism. I might talk a little bit about everything, but I just can't sit down and see what's happening to our country when this country was founded on principles of hard work, liberty, freedom, the government not infringing upon our rights as individuals, the tax system's completely out of control, the healthcare system's completely out of control, the education system I think is just horrible. Our infrastructure in America is deteriorating. We got road problems, bridge problems, all kinds of stuff is going on. So this is, I might jump all over the board here, but mainly it's going to focus on the bailout in our government and maybe a little bit about paper money system. And I'd like to talk a little bit about Ayn Rand. So Ayn Rand was raised in communist Russia. If anybody knows the evils of communism, she did. And she came over to America. She was a fiction writer. She wrote one of the best-selling books ever, Atlas Shrugged. That book had a profound impact on my life. I recommend it to anybody that wants to understand what's happening in our society today. If you have a hard time, if it's a hard time, like being clear in your head on what's going on, and maybe you're willing to give the government a chance, and let's just hope it works out. You really need to read that book because it clarifies a lot of things that's going on, and it draws a clear distinction between the moochers and the looters and the bootlickers and the people who produce and achieve in this country. And if nothing else you get out of this video, you got to read that book. I don't know, it's had a profound impact on my life. I highly recommend it. I'm going to be reading some quotes from her today, and I have a huge amount of respect for Ayn Rand. I mean, she talked about using your reason, your logic, your mind to work through things. She talked about people in society that take advantage of others, not because they work hard or because they have produced something or achieved anything, but because they simply manipulate the system. You can have a businessman who's worked hard to get where he has, and he's created a new invention or a new way to do something, or he's just an excellent businessman that knows how to do good customer service. Or you can have somebody that knows how to get in Washington and manipulate the rules so that the government rules will favor his business and run the other people run his competitors out of business because the rules in Washington favor him. And Ayn Rand makes that clear distinction that we cannot tolerate the people of the latter. We have to get back to our roots. This country was founded on hard work and striving for your dream and working hard for your family, and we cannot leave our children with this bailout crap that our politicians in Washington have forced down our throat. Now, in regards to Bush and Obama, I was never one to jump on the hate Bush bandwagon. I'm always trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm a Texan, he's a Texan, so I got to admit, I was pretty easy on him, but in his last year or two in office, I've completely changed my mind on Bush. To put it bluntly, to hell with Bush. He was the one who ramrodded that first bailout bill. He's done a lot of things that I just consider have been tremendously horrible mistakes for this country. And Obama's, just doing the same thing. I think I heard it phrased, we're headed towards the cliff, and Obama took over the driver's seat from Bush, and Obama's stepping on the gas pedal, and off we go. So we're headed towards communism, socialism, moochers and looters and bootlickers, and we're not a country of producers and achievers anymore. I'd like us to see us get back to our roots. That rich, there was a pledge recently by a lot of celebrities, and I used to be a big fan of Jamie Presley, to be honest with you. And I got to throw that out the window. Jamie Presley's in this video, which totally shocked me. But it's got Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore and a lot of multi-millionaire Hollywood liberal types. And the video ends, they're pledging to smile more, they're pledging to be a good mother, they're pledging to be a good father. I don't have to make a pledge to society. I don't have to go out and make a public pledge. I'm going to be a good father or I'm going to be a good husband. I try to do that anyway. That's just the baseline that's the baseline activity of what humans should be. You don't have to go out and make a pledge for that crap. And at the end it ends with Ashton Kutcher saying, I pledge to be a servant to my President Barack Obama, and I pledge to serve all of mankind. I guarantee you, anytime anything is done for the good of mankind or the good of society, there are some people in that society that's fixing to get the short end of the stick. And that's what Ayn Rand taught us, and I would ask that if you get a chance to read that book. So having stated that, I'd like to read some quotes from Ayn Rand, let's just do that. I think that would be good. She's got some awesome quotes, and I think it's worth listening to, so if you'll bear with me, I'm going to read through it. And I think it applies to today. Keep in mind, this was written in 1950 about, so, you know, when you see the history of what's going on, and it's just amazingly clear where this country is going, and it's not a good thing. But let's read these quotes and get that out of the way. Money is a barometer of society's virtue, right? We're going to talk a little bit about gold, and we're going to talk a little about fiat money. We're going to talk about moochers and looters. Do you want to know whether that day is coming? Watch money. Money is the barometer of a society's virtue. When you see that trading is done not by consent but by compulsion, when you see that in order to produce you need to obtain permission from men who produce nothing, when you see that money is flowing to those who deal not in goods but in favors. Wow, does that ring a big bell with our government? Money is flowing to those who deal in favors. These multimillionaire CEOs who make 200 times what you and I make, golden parachutes, and they run their companies into the ground, and they're taking all that bailout money, which is our tax money. This is exactly what it's talking about. When that money is flowing to those who deal not in goods but in favors, when you see that men get rich more easily by graft than by work, and your laws no longer protect you against them, but protect them against you. When you see, and that goes back to the Second Amendment, by the way, when you see corruption being rewarded and honesty becoming a self-sacrifice, then you will know that your society is doomed. Gold is so noble a medium that it does not compete with guns and does not make terms with brutality. It will not permit a country to survive as half property, half loot. That's some very powerful stuff. Let me go on to say, paper money is a mortgage on wealth that does not exist. When destroyers appear among men, they start by destroying gold money, for it is man's protection and the base of moral existence. Destroyers seize gold and leave it to owners. Destroyers seize gold and leave to its owners a counterfeit pile of paper. Let me just share this with you real quick. I got a 20-year-old son. For the first 19 years and 6 months of his life, I've been able to walk into a gold and silver exchange shop in Dallas, Texas, or anywhere in any major city in the United States, and I've been able to buy as many gold coins as I felt like, as long as I was willing to pay a small transaction fee and there was a spot price for gold. You try to do that today. Try to go into any gold and silver exchange shop in any part of the country and try to buy a gold or silver coin today. You ain't going to be able to do it. You say, well, all the rich people bought it up. Yeah, they sure did, didn't they? Yeah, what does that tell you? What does that tell you that we can't do that today, and that you have a 4 to 6 week waiting period and the transaction fee is skyrocketed to 10-15%? And, you're lucky to even get it after the 4 to 6 to 8 week waiting period. Getting back to this thing, this kills all objective standards and delivers men into an arbitrary power of an arbitrary setter of values. Gold is an objective value, an equivalent of wealth produced. Paper money is mortgage on wealth that does not exist, backed by guns aimed at those who are expected to produce. In other words, we got guns aimed at us saying, you better produce for us because we ain't producing nothing, and you basically are our indentured servant. You can also say we are their slaves. I ain't their slave, but they're certainly trying to push it that way, aren't they? Paper money is a check drawn by legal looters upon an account. All right, I might finish this up pretty quick. Paper money is a check drawn by legal looters upon an account which is not theirs, upon the virtue of the victims. Watch for the day when it bounces, marked account overdrawn. When you have made evil the means of survival, do not expect men to remain good. Do not expect them to stay moral and to become fodder for the immoral. Do not expect them to produce when production is punished and looting is rewarded. Do not ask who is destroying the world. You are. That's a very powerful thing. It's written back in the 1950s. Ayn Rand knew how to defend capitalism. This is just but an example of it. She had a lot more to say. And when you compare her to the greedy, stupid Rush Limbaughs of the world and what's the so-called defenders of capitalism today, she puts them to shame. She knew what communism was. She knew how evil it was. She knew how evil socialism was. And she knew how great capitalism was. I would ask you to check her out. I know she was an atheist. I'm not an atheist, so just because she was an atheist doesn't prohibit me from recognizing the work she did on capitalism and understanding the value of that. Anyway, I'm done. I'm out of time. God bless you all. Take care.